Alright, hello everyone, this is DayTraderRockStar for a market update and a watch list going into the end of the week here. This is going into Thursday, June 17th. And we'll start off with the S&P 500 cash chart here, and you can see a nice push up here to the 50-period moving average today, 50-day exponential moving average, which we pretty much went right up to, tagged. It was a green line right here. We had a channel breakout. The stochastics still look quite bullish here. But the real key here, the real way of looking at this chart here, and again, this was a great target when we looked at this yesterday, looking at a target on the market, the target at 1106, and from there we had a nice pullback on the 16. We held the 20, and from there we had the 2200 squeeze and then a breakout. So that breakout, if you look at the 60, the daily chart again, you'll see that the market just moved right up against that 50-period moving average, and right at that level pulled back on the day. But the stochastics still look bullish, and I would definitely look for either a little consolidation, but further upside in the medium term. Tomorrow we have some CPI numbers out at 8:30, so it could affect the market a bit. So we're going to be paying attention to that. But again, just to pay attention again, we pushed up against the 50-period moving average. We broke out of a channel. We pretty much hit a measured move out of a channel breakout like this. Like to see a little consolidation. I would expect to see that, but there is definitely some argument for further upside here. And again, the 60-minute chart, we've been holding this nice trend line, and whenever you have a problem seeing something on the daily, you could always break it down on the 60-minute chart and really start to see some trends. The 200-period moving average is something I really want to talk to you about tonight. I think it's a good indicator to use both on the 60-minute chart, the daily chart, and the 5-minute chart. That's the strongest moving average on each of those. The 60-minute chart, you can see how it reacts here. Very good. And again, you want to really zoom out, look at a decent level, and you can actually see back here on May 10th, we also pushed up against the 200 here, and we pushed off of that. So again, this was the second retest, pulled back, pushed up above it. When you take out a overhead resistance, sometimes you come back, test that overhead resistance, and if you could hold on to that, it's a bullish signal. So there's definitely a chance of a pullback to the 1106 area. I want to see that hold. Let's see. We're going to take a look at a couple stocks here. Some new stocks for tomorrow, and two really good setups for tomorrow. Home Depot, I haven't talked about on the station. Again, I broadcast live every day on DayTradingRadio.com. So as these setups appear in the market, I actually broadcast them live, show you the setups, and show you if I take the trades or not. Show you the trades. Home Depot here, HD. Again, this is on the 60-minute chart. You can actually see on the 60-minute chart here, just a nice little trend line here. Downward trend line is the one I'm concerned with here right now, because I'm looking for a push up here out of this. If you look at the daily chart, you can see a little better channel here, and the channel is pulling back to the 200 underneath here. For any reason we get a pullback in the market and Home Depot pulls back, this will be a multiple indicator setup, a lower trend line and a 200-period moving average, and oversold stochastics. The three top indicators I use. When all three of those line up, that's my buy. That's my very good buy signal, and that's how I take a lot of my entries. But first of all, your risk reward is much better because you're buying on a pullback. You have multiple support levels. One being a lower trend line, another being a powerful 200-period moving average, and a timing indicator is set up here anyway. But I'm not saying that we're going to pull back here to the lower trend line. I'm actually going to look for that break of that 60-minute trend line. And again, basically a move above today, or actually yesterday's highs. You're going to get this on Thursday. So that would be a buy trigger on a move above 32.26 on that. So we're going to continue to move on. Cisco is actually coming out of a base and starting to look much better. The daily chart really starting to turn up here on the stochastics, which is nice. and you can see we actually held up very nicely off the 2250 level, starting to push up. We had a little reversal into some selling today, but I still think we have some good upside potential here. So basically, just keep your eye on that. If I do see that push back up above the 20-period moving average, probably going to continue to watch this for more upside. Not the strongest stock on the list. I like Microsoft a little bit better at this point. Microsoft is just coming again. Had a nice break up here on Microsoft, and again, really hasn't really started. We broke out of a downtrending line. This was a great trade that I got into a couple days ago based on the 60-minute chart. And the 60-minute chart and the 200-period moving average back here a couple days ago, right off the 20-period moving average. Beautiful entry here. We pushed right up. I said the goal here is to move up towards that 2680 level, or wherever that 200-period moving average is coming down. So I still see some more further upside, and then a follow-through break of that eventually, and a move further up off of this. So again, beautiful downtrend line broke. Little inside day pattern here, actually a little consolidation. I think we broke above yesterday's highs, but a good consolidation, and we'll just continue to watch this one for a break of today's highs, and that's still a very strong buy trigger for a pushback up to the 200-period moving average. So still, I think it's early in the game on Microsoft. Not selling my position at all at this point. This one is going into tomorrow. I think is a really good setup. Covidian. It's a medical stock, and what happens is they acquired a company today. Gap down on that news, as usually the acquirer gets a hit on the price, but it rebounded and not even really taking a big hit. It actually happened here. They actually acquired a company here and then pulled back, and they acquired another company, not getting the effect. So this was really starting to hold that $40 level. You could see an inverted head and shoulders pattern starting to form here on the daily. We had a nice reversal, some nice volume today, and again, I'm going to look for a break of today's or yesterday's highs for a continued, the safer bet here, and again, a very good risk-reward trade right now would be a break above 42.36, but a more aggressive entry would be a break above 41.61. So either one of those, I like this. I'm going to continue to add to my position on strength tomorrow if I do see that relative strength show up on the markets, and this is something I'll be, and again, going to look for that break above that 20-period moving average. Out of all the stocks we're going to cover tonight, this is one of my favorites going forward. So I got a a high probable setup here. Next stock here, we're going to take a look at BlackRock. BlackRock's my other good bet here going into the end of the week here. Love the setup in the financials, and again, one of the reasons I expect the market to continue to get a push, if not tomorrow, but going into the end of the week. The financials are definitely setting up for a pop, and this market did not rally on the financials. The financials have been lagging the market, so any type of rally in the financials should spike BlackRock. BlackRock is pushing up against the 20-period moving average, just about ready to get a bullish crossover on stochastics. The 60-minute chart, again, pushing up towards that 200-period moving average. And how important is that 200-period moving average? It is so important, as both as a trigger and as a target, and just as a measuring tool in the overall markets. I want to show you a couple, and again, buy trigger on 163.50 on BlackRock, 163.50 on that. There's a couple other stocks, but what I want to do is actually show you the importance of the 5-minute chart, and just say a couple of points here. The 5-minute chart, chart and the 200-period moving average is a perfect combination. A lot of people, get confused or overtrade this market, and I try to teach people to have patience in the market. And the best case scenario is when you have a combination of two indicators: the full stochastic pullback underneath 20, and a price level that comes back to the 200-period moving average. Now, this indicator setup also works off the 50 and the 20, but the strongest indicator is off of here. So again, we actually had that pullback on Quest Diagnostics. This is DGX here. I just wanted to give an example, and you can actually see how the price actually reacts to this 200 here. I'll give you another chart example on the chart. Microsoft is a good example. If I can get that up here. And again, you could look out on this chart. This goes out a few days here. And Microsoft, once it broke the 200 period moving average, it really came back. First test here on the 15th, right there, actually on the end of the day on the 14th. Pulled back to the 200, held the 200 nicely. This was just a second test here. We're bouncing off of this on the 5-minute chart. We closed off the day on a nice little bounce. Continues to look very strong. And again, the importance of the 200. If anything, if you want to make money in this market, have patience. Take the setups that come to you. Don't rush into anything. Again, hope to see you in the market. Stop by DayTradingRadio.com. Again, best bets going into the end of the week. BlackRock, COV, Microsoft. Also keep an eye on CHK with a breakout of 25.55. I want to get this out to you guys. I'll see you in the markets.